Hello everyone, Gilbert here. Welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. I've got something a little different for you guys today. Yesterday, which was Tuesday, June 25th, 2019, my buddy James Wappel and I right here, James Wappel, go check him out on his Facebook and of course his YouTube channel. James Wappel, hell of a painter. James and I visited with our friend Ken Schlotfeldt over at Badger Airbrush Company. Spent the morning there, a little bit part of the afternoon there, and Ken was gracious enough to allow me to film everything as he gave us a tour of the facility. So, you know, I posted it on my Facebook Live, but I wanted you all to check it out too. It's a pretty interesting video. It's about 35 minutes long, so it's a long video. So, you know, you can watch it in two sittings, or you can watch it all at once. But I thought you guys would be interested in watching it. So, come on, take a tour with us at the Badger Airbrush Company, James and I, and check out what happens behind the scenes over at an American Airbrush Company. You guys have a great one, man. We'll be back in a little bit. Ciao.
This is actually our tooling room and our storage area. This is like the area for misfit toys. But just simple old school hand lays and stuff that we use for everything from troubleshooting to prototype development. This is my cousin. He's very mechanically inclined. He gets all the things that I don't. And so when there's a problem to be solved, he's the one that gets, you know, tasked to solve it. The one machine that we do run parts on here, although it's not running right now, this machine is where we run all the inner seals in the airbrushes. The Teflon part that the needle runs through, those are all done on this machine here. I doubt there's any capacity. I don't know if there is. No, but it's the little
On the bottom there is, I could probably dig some out.
Yeah, no, that's, we'll find some on the other side, I'm sure. This is where we do the drillings for the color pups, the ones that be attached to the bottom, guns, stuff like that. And you guys will see as we walk around here, we're primarily secondary with the exception of the inner seals and the needles, which the needles we run on the other side. This side here is pretty much all finished goods. So these are all airbrushes that have been tested already, you know, that are waiting to be connected to orders, you know, stuff for Dick Blick, Cornwell Tools, you know, Meiningers, so everything that's in this area on these shelves is tested product already. It's been, you'll see the testing room over on the other side. And this area here is all inventory. So it's where we keep all the different piece parts and stuff. You know, you can see here where you've got, you know, place for everything in its place, all the different components. I mean, obviously needles for all the different airbrushes. You know, so all the piece parts are here. They get requisitioned out of here. Down every aisle, you got piece parts, everything from, you know, needle tubes to, you know, jar adapter, hubs, stuff like that. So it's kind of the epitome of a place for everything and everything in its place. And right behind you, that's the comparator that we use for QC stuff.
What does that do?
Well, it's a shadow box. So you take and you can see where he's got a part on here right now. I don't want to mess with what he's got set up here. But he's actually taking and doing something to measure an angle. I'm not sure what he's actually playing with on this. Might be messing around with some new needle configuration because I see he's got a third cut there in that. Because normally our needles have 2 steps. He's got an additional one in here. So, but I'm best to not touch it. But we also use this. We'll buy competitor stuff and see what they're doing and see if they have anything, you know, notably different than what we're doing. And if they do, try to figure out why. Which generally it's all pretty similar. You know, the airbrush, you know, by design has been the same for quite a while. So again, this is all the inventory area. And this young lady here is our production manager. She's been here for 39 years. So.
Well, most of
she's-
your employees have been here a long time.
Long
yeah.
time, yeah. Our average tenure is about 12 or 15 years here. This young man is our paint room manager. He's only been here a short time, but we put him into that position of responsibility recently. We think he has good bloodlines. His mom runs our soldering department.
Nice.
So anyhow, nothing gets into this area until it comes through this area. This is our QC. So as parts come in, you know, we pull the drawings. There's a drawing for every part that goes into every airbrush. And on the opposite side is all the gauges. So part comes in, pull the parts drawing, grab the gauges, check the parts. Depending on who the supplier is, will dictate what percentage of parts are going to get inspected. And then the other thing that's important from a QC standpoint is the parts that don't get inspected here, the whole process and the people doing it, as long as they've done it, serves as an additional QC. Because they know how it's supposed to feel when it goes together. When
They've been doing it long enough. Yeah,
they've been doing it long enough, and you feel when something's funny, you know, or out of the norm. So this area here is our hose cutting station. This is a hose cutting machine. We bring our hose in spools, and then it gets cut to the different lengths, 6, 10 foot, and then, you know, ones that get moisture traps or QDs, all those things get put on here. They actually ran some hoses earlier today. So the Centerline here, this is our packing area for all the shrink wrap stuff that we do. That all comes down the center. And we get shrink wrap. This is all small piece part assembly and packaging. So everything, Gina's packing needles, Lola's putting together vinyl hoses for a lot of our kits, the 250s and 350s. Get the simple vinyl hoses for starter kits. That all gets done here.
You know, from the outside, this building doesn't look this big. It looks
well,
small from the outside, don't it?
Yeah,
It looks
I mean, it's
deceptive.
We've been in here for so long, you know, and it's kind of like an old baseball mitt. It's an old, pretty beat up building, but you know what? It's like that favorite pair of gym shoes or that favorite T-shirt. You know, as much as it might not look great, there's something about it that you're going to keep it forever, and it's always going to feel good. You know, when you put it on. So, all of this stuff here is actually the remainder of Happy 55th, except for the Sotar airbrushes, which are hopefully due back from the later today. But a lot of the people with Sotars have needle juice on order and some of the different items that are in the boxes. So, got the last of the Patriots and the Extremes out yesterday. So this is like the Happy 55th zone. So, packing area for kits that don't get shrunk wrapped. So, where we take in, like Stephanie's packing up. You working on chromes or spirits?
Velocities.
Or velocities. So she's packing some guns for a customer order. But all the kits that don't come down the shrink wrap line, they all get set up over here for it. So this area here is primarily packaging and small piece parts.
For those people that don't know, how long have you been here? How long in this building?
We've been in this building. We're in our 55th year, so we've been in this building for 53 years. I'll show you the building we started in. If you go back to this area. This is all finished goods. This is the shipping department.
James is salivating.
Well, you know, shipments going to Holland, Philippines, Finland, Poland, England, Argentina.
Wow.
Australia, Canada. So, I mean, we ship globally. You know, people think we're this huge company because we are global.
Right.
But, you know, we're really, as you walk through it, you'll see we're a relatively small
It's not that
operation.
big. I mean, the building, like I said, it looks
Small
deceptive.
family-owned business. It's just a global name with a global following. And you can have some of those if you want. These are fingernail stencils. But for miniatures, there's things you can do with some of these patterns and stuff.
I've never seen those.
If you see some, well, I mean, I don't know you to be hanging out in the beauty market
My daughter
forums,
does that stuff.
for fingernail painting.
I have to let
but
her know.
I mean, if you want, James, if you want to see some designs you want, grab them, or if you want, I'll have them give you one of each. You know, you too. I mean, it's, you know, because some of these patterns are kind of cool, little flaming things and stuff like that. You know who really like these is the lure painters. the lure artists.
Yeah.
You know, where they want those.
And they
Specific
can
designs.
people that want these, they can find them on USA Airbrush Supply?
Yeah, USA Airbrush Supply offers all of this stuff. So these things, not so much our other dealers, the spray gunners, the Blicks, the competition minis, the Michigan Toy Soldier. They don't have this type of stuff. They have a lot of other Badger items that are popular with their customer base.
Now, I got a question for you that somebody asked me yesterday. You got the USA Airbrush. What about the Win-Win?
Well, first of all, we're not USA Airbrush Supply.
Right.
It's a completely separate company run by
Someone
separate
else.
people. Win-Win does still exist. That's Web Airbrushes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Badger retail connection.
Okay.
So
So you can still use either one.
you could use both of them. USA Airbrush Supply is better stocked
Yeah.
on
Okay.
stuff.
Gotcha.
And their website's a lot easier to work with
Gotcha.
than Web Airbrushes. So everything back here is finished goods, ready to go out somewhere. So, you know, airbrush clamshell kits, you know, stuff. Amazon, naturally. We're also in the hood now, catching up on that.
And all the
Right.
the hip stuff.
Who are we listening to today, Caesar? Who is it? Freak to me, man.
I have no idea who that is.
But Caesar and Eric, who... Oh, Eric went over to make hoses. Those are the two guys that get everything out of the building. They do
Cool.
a
They're the ones that do all
fantastic
the shipping and stuff, huh?
And just to give you an idea of the extension of family that we are, Caesar's wife works in our testing room. She's our lead tester. Lola who was the one putting together the hoses. That's Caesar's mother-in-law. And Caesar's son, Caesar Jr., is in our soldering department right now during summer vacation. So, and then Eric, the other guy from shipping, in the red shirt over there. Hey, Eric. That's Eric. The lady on the packing line is his mom.
So it's basically all a big family.
Yeah, there's a lot of family ties and connections. Oh, we'll show you where Badger started. Don't show that box because we don't make that airbrush.
Not showing nothing. I'm not showing nothing.
Actually, that box is all primer. That building right there is where Badger started.
Oh, no
That used to
kidding.
be the Walter Precision Company. That was my grandfather's company. He used to make screw machine parts for Pache and Theron Chandler in that building. When Badger started, it started in the upper level of that building. That hallway connection that you see between those two buildings, that was only put there about 15 years ago.
This right here.
Yeah, those two buildings weren't connected. And then this company here, Advanced Cabinet, bought this building here when it came up for sale, and they built the hallway between the both. I mean, you can now drive a forklift between the two buildings and stuff. I could go into this building still, and I know without any doubt whatsoever the Walter Precision safe is still in there, and the door still has to be open because no one knows the combination to it.
Wow.
So, but yeah, that's when I was a little kid. That was one thing they always told me: when you go into the safe, don't ever close the door
Because you'll never get
Yeah,
out.
that's right. So, you know, oddly enough, it was one of the few things I listened to that they told me when I was a little kid. So. Yes, we make one shot.
You want that?
That's what that whole box is. Oh, I don't care if people know. We're proud of it. We enjoy our friendship with Meg and Carlos.
Yeah.
And we're proud that they like our primer as much as they do that they want to put their name on it. But that whole box that was on the dock
is all
that's
that?
all primer.
Wow. Well, I know there was some people in Canada say it's easier to get the one shot than it is to get the Steiner
Yeah,
rest.
which is fine. Mm-hmm. Fine, whatever. Oh, the shrink wrap.
Yeah, the shrink wrap.
Yeah. We just walked into the paint room, by the way. So this area here is where we do the shrink wrapping of the items as they become available once they're filled and packaged. This area here is where we do all of our filling We have 3 filling machines for paints and primers, 1, 2, and 3. There's a 4th machine on the far end that is for all of our cleaners that we do. Just a little simple machine down there. We're very antiquated on paint. Fact of the matter is, we haven't kept up with our own growth because we're still doing stuff one bottle at a time. So, but the fact of the matter is, there's a fear element about having people who have always just filled bottle at a time, having units that fill multiple bottles at a time. We just envision a lot of spilled paint. And you know what? We get done what we need to get done.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It gets out there still either way. Yeah.
You know, we are what we are. So, but all of our filling gets done here. And actually, sometimes we're creative. That juice machine over there, we actually use it for small lot filling because we can fill 20 bottles at a time off of there, and it actually mixes while it's filling. So
Cool.
Not doing it right now, but so Max, I didn't know you were a Sox fan.
Yeah.
Oh, you might have just told me that. So.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Max is prepping Conrail Blue for filling model railroad paints. Yeah, it ain't pretty, but it's effective.
¿Cómo estás?
And this area here is where we stock all of our filled paints. This is all Minotaur in this section here, filled. Some of it needs to be labeled, some of it is labeled. Some of it isn't labeled intentionally because that color may also be used for something in the Freak Flex range,
Gotcha.
which Freak Flex is behind you. This is the Monster Ore product range. Minotaur, of course, is the miniatures range. Then you got Spectratex behind that. Spectratex is our multi-surface textile paint for t-shirt painters that we do. And then in this area here, we have 3 labeling machines, 1, 2, and 3 that we run. Then this area here is RCR, which is our radio control Lexan paint. And then from there you go Model Flex, which is our model railroad paint. Also 15 military colors and 15 automotive colors. This is, I was telling you guys, we're trying to reposition everything in here. So we cleared all this out. That young man is my son, Benjamin. Benjamin, this is Mr. Wappel. This is Mr. Mondragon.
How you doing, Ben?
Good. How you doing?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. I'm sorry. Benjamin. Get it
if
right.
you can find in Scripture where Joseph called Benjamin Ben, we'll let you call him Ben.
Gotcha.
So anyhow, so he's actually in charge of reorganizing everything here right now to get everything in its place where it's going to be repositioned. But we're moving Stynal Res over to a more accessible position. So then in this area here, this is Woods and Water, which is our taxidermy paint.
Jeez, how many lines of
That all
paint do you
gets
have?
filled here.
Ken?
Well, any market that it's viable to do a product for and a color palette for, we try to do it because all of our paints, between taxidermy and fine scale modeling and fishing lure art, they're all common substrates to each other. So if the paint products we make will work on one industry's items, because the substrate is the same in the other industries, it'll have the same durability and performance on that as well. A lot of people don't realize that most taxidermy work is replica. It's resin castings that have been created. And just like you paint resin, it's the same material that taxidermists are painting on. So we have a full line. The one thing that's unique about our paint products, I think, is that every new paint we've ever done, we've involved a credible, reliable artist grouping from that marketplace to help us choose the color palette.
Gotcha.
For instance, Minotaur, a lot of people know that was Les Bursley, Chung Chow, and Matthew Fontaine who did that. Freak Flex was David Fisher and Tom Gilliland, who are 2 of the premier.
They do all the bigger.
Yeah, I mean, and David Fisher is Amazing Figure Modeler magazine. So, Model Railroad, that was developed by a group of NMRA people, choosing the color lines and doing the color matches off of Bowles drift cards. Woods and Water was done with 3 world champion taxidermy artists, Rick
nice.
Crane, Paul Borkowski, and Glenn Browning, who did those colors. So we never make it up as we go
Right.
along. We actually reach out to get some, viable support and assistance to make certain that we get it right. So, but this is all woods and water paint here.
Are you show them where the paint buckets are?
Then in this area here, what's that?
I was saying, what I was asking, if you're showing them the paint buckets are, the mouth buckets are over in there. And arrow paint, and what are these like?
Yes, we'll cover that later. Thanks, bud.
Now these are all your.
Any color which is recommended, by the way.
Yes, love you, son. He's learning stuff, and
He's the
everything
future.
he learns, he wants to make sure I know that he knows it now. But he's picking things up fast.
Cool.
And the paint department is where he seems to have his biggest interest. So, as a dad, that's exciting to see my son get involved.
Awesome.
With it. So, this is our compressor department. This young man here, Rick, knows these things inside and out. I actually told him, because we had guests coming through, take the blindfold off today while you're working on them. So, but
White stuff.
he's a Cubs fan. Wear the Phillies hat.
I was gonna say.
So, yeah, he's a big Cubs fan. It's, we tolerate it. So anyhow,
Tell them you're a Sox fan?
they know.
Yep.
So this is our compressor department. What we primarily do here is QC and service. Compressors are the one item we import. We bring it in from China just like everyone else
I was going to
does.
say, just about everybody else does that, right?
But one of the things that we do here, they come in completely unlabeled and unpackaged. Rick does a QC, does modifications to them to increase and improve the performance of them. Then we box them. Other than that, he does service work as necessary, to help people when they have a concern or an issue that they need assistance with. So we're actually expecting a compressor shipment that I was hoping would have been here yesterday, but isn't. So now this area here is where you get into the meat and potatoes of what we actually make and do here. This is actually our soldering department, where they'll do all the assembly. I mean, you can see Yolanda's soldering sotars here, so she's putting these heads. Previously, we soldered on the color cup and the air chamber. Now she's soldering on the heads because these are now permanently welded on like the chromes are. So that's all done here. Eddie's prepping stuff to go to the
Platers.
platers. Just to give you another idea about family, Eddie's daughter was one of the girls in the filling room that we had there. This is Cesar Jr. We met his dad back in the shipping department. This is Rita. Rita runs the soldering department. Her son is the one who runs the paint department. So Dave has no family, so we made him Badger family. Dave's a veteran. He's been, how long you been here, Dave? 30?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years.
Started in
Usually-
81.
81, wow.
Dave's over here running the drilling machines. That right now, he can't drill until they're done soldering because they get drilled after they're soldered. So until they have that done, there's really nothing for them to drill. But our drilling of the air passages is done on these 3 machines here. So where the long drill comes from the front of the airbrush, it meets up with the hole that comes in through the air chamber, so that when you press the trigger, the air passes from the airbrush here to here. I know it's not a good visual without an airbrush here, but in any case, somewhere we probably have some before and after stuff. Right, let's show them a bad one, Dave, seeing Gilbert's doing a live feed.
Oh, sorry.
But they'll be glad to know that
Yeah,
the
it
bad
gives
one
them-
is still in the building.
There you go.
Right.
It didn't go out. Yeah.
No, this is you can't tell, but it's inside. That's from the machine.
From
over
this
there.
one right here.
No, second.
The second one, right there. So it comes in here.
The long hole here, short one here.
Gotcha.
And those meet up inside of the gun.
Cool.
So
Then I check it on a microscope to make sure it's all good.
That's right there.
then these 3 machines are where we run our needles. So
You had a post not too long ago showing this, a picture.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You want me to run with it?
No, we're good. Thanks, Dave.
So all your needles come right off of these two machines?
Yeah, three
machines. Oh yeah, there's the other
But one of
okay.
them is set up always to run crescendo needles. The crescendo needle has a larger outside diameter than the other
That must be
guns.
this one here.
Yeah, so that one always stays. That's a dedicated crescendo needle machine. The other runs Anthems, Pro Production Series, Legend Series, stuff like that. The thinner diameter needles is done here. Now this area here, this is where we do all of our fast class caps and jar adapters. And right now, this department is in a little bit of disarray because the machine we do them on isn't functioning properly. So we're waiting for a part to come in to get that corrected. In the meantime, we're trying to look at different presses and stuff we have to set up a manual machine just in case that takes longer
Right.
than we have to get it done. So Robert, who you saw over on the other side in the tooling room, is actually working on some fixtures and stuff to take some of these hand presses and be able to use them to do this operation if we need to. So. And then the testing room.
Yeah, see, this is where I was at the
Where's
last time.
Raquel? Oh, okay.
Because he had when I was here, he had something set up here and he was painting it.
Yeah, this is Jesus.
Yep. ¿Cómo estás, Jesus? How you doing, bro?
Jesus is our lead service tech. He knows these things inside and out, and he's also very talented at using them. Any of the artwork you see will actually go into Jesus' studio over here, as well as his gymnasium in a second. But one of the things, too, when you send Jesus a card or something, he keeps a board of all the people who have sent him stuff.
Cool.
You know, and I'm guessing he's had occasion where someone might have needed a service or something, and he's able to send people to these people if he knows of somebody.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, but and you can also see Jesus at the flea market every Saturday, Sunday. Which one?
Which one? The Allsip?
Buyer's Flea Market on the Division.
On Division? Yeah.
So if you ever need a shirt done, something airbrush, go see Jesus on
Cool.
Saturday, Sunday.
That's what's up.
This is Nora. This is Cesar's wife, who you met in the
you
shipping
doing?
department. You met her son in the soldering department. You met her mom doing the vinyl hose. So she's our lead tester. Usually there's a second tester in here all the time, Raquel. She's actually washing brushes right now on the other side. And then we have a third station where, depending on what's needed, any one of about 4 people who's qualified to test will sit down and do testing there. So, and you can see they're actually waiting for sotars to get here from the platers. So these are all needles for sotars, all the piece parts for sotars. So as soon as they get them in here, they can get them tested and get them out of here.
Get them out of here, yeah.
So these are all guns that are already back from the platers, but right now they're not immediately necessary. So they're sitting tight on them. Although some of this is our customer in Poland. So hopefully you'll see this video and see that his guns are almost done. So all the presses and stuff on the outside are part of the setup process for putting the guns together before they go to the testing stations. Then this area here, I was telling you, is this is Jesus' studio. This area used to be our 250 room where we made all of our little 250 guns. That's since been moved over to the area in the machining room. So we let Jesus set up this as a studio. Jesus actually came to us. He was a t-shirt artist at a local mall, and I met him and asked him if he wanted
I remember
to come
you
here.
saying that, yeah.
And he's been here ever since, and so we let him set up here. Matter of fact, one of the things that very soon you'll be able to get is custom painted swag.
Nice.
We're going to have this on the Badger website under the special offers page. Jesus is going to do these for us. We just got the stencil designs in from Chino. Thank you, Chino. And we're going to let Jesus make a little money doing those
Nice.
hats, and he's working on shirts too to put up on there. And then this is Jesus' punching bag. So when he gets service matters that are really frustrating, he comes in here and he puts a little picture of the airbrush that's frustrating him on here, and then he just
Boom.
punches
There
it
you
until
go.
it corrects itself. So, He's in there laughing. He can actually hear us. So that's our little corner of the world.
Cool.
Actually, we'll show you. This is artwork by Marcia Ferry. Excuse the Wastebasket there.
That's beautiful.
It is, and she's an artist from California who did that for us many years ago. Artwork by Lindy Brown. You know, a lot of people wouldn't realize that's actually airbrushed onto a rug. You know, so it's a kind of neat design, nice decorative piece. Ronnie Wright did this for Theron Chandler when they first came out with the Badger Airbrush. You know, I'm not sure if you caught the murals and stuff. And
No, I did. Yeah.
That are here. That's usually pretty cool stuff. Done by Michael Smith and John McDavitt.
Yeah, those were when I walked in here. Those two were catching my eye. Just the color on that.
This is Virginia Gabaldo. Virginia's a fine artist. She's got a gallery in Santa Fe
Beautiful.
that she works out of, and she does incredibly beautiful art. So this is Jeff Camp, Tim Edders, Paul Rostan, who's one of the premier body artists on the planet. Does beautiful work. He photographs his own work, and he sent me these canvases.
Is he the one that does it with you when
Harris.
you go to California and stuff?
Yeah, when we go to California, and he's been to Gen Con a couple times. You know, there's more artwork in the back there. That's Peter West, who incorporates airbrush into his fine art. So a lot of that is screen printed, and then he accents it with the airbrush. So, you know, but every piece of artwork, Mike Reagan, Tim Mitchell. This was actually bought at a one of those hotel art sales, and I liked it because I knew it was airbrush. I've had people photograph this. This is obviously the Twin Towers, and this painting was done at the time they were still up. I've had people take pictures of this, and they don't show up in the photographs, which is really weird. And they've showed me the photographs of it. So Noah Elias, who just goes by Noah. This we better change the Ken meter so no one sees that. But yeah. This is my domain, which means it's the messiest place in the building. Artwork by Tim Edders, Peter Stallard, Peter West, Jaime Rodriguez. But this is my
Your
domain.
part of the world, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is a piece that obviously this is a reprint done by Rahab Good, a great friend of mine from England, who's one of the most talented artists. A lot of different figure pieces and stuff. Mike Reagan, there's some David Fisher in there, the late Mac McCullough, the late Joyce Sheets. So a lot of artwork from a lot of very talented, accomplished artists. Yeah, I know there's no James Wappel pieces here, and we haven't gotten the Gilbert Mondragon piece up yet because we just got it today. But we were thinking about this.
There you go, James. James, hint.
This piece is always important to us. This painting of Kennedy was done with the very first Badger airbrush ever made.
This one right here.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's got a special meaning to it, in that it was done with the first airbrush ever made. The artist was allowed to keep the airbrush. I never met the artist. Obviously, that was the time when I was
2 years old. 1 year old.
1 year old. But everything you've seen has been airbrushed with Badger, even the taxidermy pieces like this here.
Some beautiful pieces of work here.
Yeah, so that's our little corner of the world. So. My wife usually sits there. Tuesday's one of her days off. It's our little postal area, which happy 55th airbrushes going somewhere. So, this is my niece, our receptionist.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is actually the headpiece is Paul Rostan's from when he body painted at Gen Con. The Karloff Stein is actually done by Tim Gore, who's a very talented special effects artist.
That was 2 years ago, wasn't it? About
this?
Yeah.
Yes, at Gen Con.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Usually the headpiece doesn't really belong on
But it looks
Karloff
pretty cool
Stein,
on
but
them, man.
it actually works there. This is a Rahab Good piece that needs to be badly dusted. He knows I'm a big Batman fan, so he sent me that when he did it. That's one of Blackheart models.
Yeah.
tribute bust that they've done.
Nice.
So, and James will be working on some of Blackheart's stuff at Gen Con this year in a few weeks.
Two very large species busters, half size.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me.
Lots of ghost tints on those babies.
So that's it, man. That's the
All right.
that's the tour. So
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm
hope
going to
you
cut the.
enjoyed.
There's Ken, James, me.
Happy airbrushing.
So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour. I always tell people, when they ask me what airbrush is the best one that I should get, and I always tell them the same thing that Ken would have told you too. Whichever one is in your hand. I started with a Badger Airbrush, and I've continued throughout the years since the 80s with the Badger Airbrush. Most of you guys know that follow me. You know I have Iwatas, I have harder Steenbecks, I had a couple of Grexes, I've got Poshes. But my mainstays are my Badgers. I am not sponsored by them, so let's not get that twisted. But I know a good airbrush when I see one. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions for me, you can leave a comment down below. Until next time, man, this is Gilbert here in Smaug's Cave saying, be good to each other. Be kind to to one another, brothers and sisters. Love your families. Embrace your children. Leave the drama to the queens. Brothers, airbrush a model. Until next time.